It's my cat. Hey guys, it's AJ and welcome to my world. So I know I'm looking a little bit rough right now, but it's because I thought I would film a get ready with me video. So for today, I do have a Nikah to go to, which is basically an Islam wedding. So yeah, if you want to watch me get ready for this wedding, just keep on watching. So yesterday, in preparation for today, I did do a couple of face masks and things like that, just to get my face looking as, presentable as possible for today. I also kind of irritated this spot here, which is not good. I did squeeze the pimple that I had here a little bit, and I also have very sensitive skin. But yeah, don't do as I do and don't squeeze your pimples because that's really bad. Okay, so the next thing I think I'm gonna do is my hair. I'm just gonna start with curling it and we'll see where that goes. So for the style, all I did was I started with straightening the hair that framed my face, just because I have a lot of baby hair and that's super frizzy, so it doesn't look good if I don't straighten it. So I do that, and then I just curled the rest of my head with a straightener. Now unfortunately, this look did not come out as good as I wanted it to, just because I did not manage my time properly, just with trying to film and everything. But if you are interested in actually knowing how to curl your hair properly with a straightener, I did already film a video on that. I'm just gonna link it right here. The hair turned out a lot better in that video than it looks here, so don't judge it based on this look here. But yeah, definitely check that video out afterwards. Okay, so this is what my hair is looking like right now. It's a little bit messy. I kind of curled it, made it a little wavy, whatever. I'm gonna just leave it at this for now because I haven't really decided what exactly I'm gonna do. Or maybe I'll leave it like this and just kind of do some touch-up curls to it at the end. Or I'm thinking maybe like I'll put a braid in it or something, but we'll see. I'm gonna just start, it's my cat. I think I'm just gonna start on like doing my makeup, and then we can come back to the hair afterwards. Alright guys, so I just cleansed my face, and guess what? I got my sleeves completely wet, and I honestly hate the feeling of wet sleeves, but I'm also too lazy to change. We're ready to start the face. I haven't really decided what kind of makeup look I'm going to do, so we're gonna just wing it, and hopefully it turns out okay. So first thing that I'm starting off with is moisturizer. I'm just using Cetaphil here, nothing too fancy. You can just see how sensitive my skin is because I am turning red like a potato. A tomato, whatever, same thing, you know what I mean. Anyways, the next thing that we're using is this Shine Killer by NYX. Now this thing is supposed to help mattify any of the oily spots on your face. My entire face is like an oil slick. If I went out into the sun, you could probably fry an egg on it, so I just put that stuff all over my face. The next thing that we're using is this Pore Professional, wait, no, that's not right, that's the actual expensive one. We can't afford that here, so instead we're using the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and I'm focusing that on my cheeks because I have holes there as big as the ones in the Grand Canyon. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing is, do you mind? So the next thing that I'm doing here is just color correcting. I'm using this reddish orange concealer around my mouth and around my eyes. So this specific reddish orange color will kind of help balance the uneven skin tone. Now if you're wondering what palette I'm using, it's actually an old color correcting palette by Paris Hilton. I guess she had a cosmetics line at some point. I don't know, maybe she still does. But I got it as a gift a few years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, my sister got it as a present, but then she didn't want to use it. But I was like, hell yeah, free makeup, I'll take it. Anyways, I have it, so I figured I might as well use it. And then for concealer, I'm using this Covergirl Trublend concealer in Warm Honey. And I'm also using this beauty sponge that I also got at the drugstore. And let me tell you, I was not impressed by this. It is so stiff. But yeah, it literally felt like I had to punch myself in the face to make it blend. Honestly, they should be calling it the Beauty Blender. Okay, sorry, that was a terrible joke. Anyways, I also ended up putting concealer on the top of my eyelids as well, just to prep the base before I moved on to the eyeshadows. And for eyeshadows, what I ended up starting off with is this Catrice and Eman palette, and I used the color Fairfax, just placing that all over my eyelids. Once I was happy with that, I moved on to this Burgundy Bar by Maybelline, and I chose this pink color here to kind of place all over the eyelids, and it wasn't as pigmented as I thought it would be, to be quite honest, so I did go back a few times to kind of help build it up. I also chose this second color here, this darker pink, to focus that on the outer crease of the eyelids. Eventually, after some time, it started to look like this. As you can see, I ended up moving the eyeshadow all the way up almost to my eyebrows, and that's just because when I'm looking head on, my eyes, you don't see too much of the eyelids, so I just thought that if I brought the color up, you can see more of it, so I kind of like that look. And yeah, I'm even winging it way far out, and it's okay if you do this step very messy, you don't have sharp edges, you can easily clean that up with foundation at the end. Then I'm going in with this lighter color and focusing it on the center of my eyelids. This is to kind of create a slight halo effect. And I definitely think this technique is good for someone like me. If you're not very advanced in makeup, it's fairly easy to do. There are definitely some halo effects that are a lot more intense than the others, but since I'm not really good at doing that, I just do it in this nice subtle way. And then once I was satisfied with my eyeshadow, I moved on to eyeliner, and as you can tell, this is the epitome of a good beauty guru because I am totally in frame. This step is pretty straightforward, just lining the top of my eyelashes with eyeliner. This is the eyeliner that I use by L'Oreal. Been using it for years, and as you can see, I like a very thin line on my eyelashes. I don't know why, that's usually what I end up doing. So this eyeliner is great for that. And I line it all the way into my inner corners as well. And I'm also winging my liner. I'm sorry, I know you can barely see, but sometimes I do small strokes like this to kind of get the perfect wing. Or if I'm feeling lucky and daring, I'll try to just do it in one swoop and get the wing that way. I also clean up my eyeliner with my fingernails sometimes. If it doesn't look perfect, I'll like scratch it off before it dries with my nails. Now, this is not something I necessarily recommend, kids. I know someone's gonna try this and maybe accidentally scratch their eyes, and then you guys are gonna try to come for me and sue me. But guess what? I don't have any money, so just don't try this at home. And once I'm done doing that, I just curl my lashes before I get ready to put on the falsies, just so that they blend in better. And the lash glue that I'm using, it is by Duo, and I like this glue because it does dry clear, so even if I make a mess, you can't really tell after it dries. Now, in terms of the lashes that I'm using, unfortunately, I have no idea where they're from or what they're called. These are the lashes that were used by a makeup artist on me, and unfortunately, I never asked her what they were called, and I'm regretting that decision ever since then. But yeah, I've been reusing these lashes about 3 or 4 times now, because I love them so much and I try to take as good care of them as I can. So yeah, if you guys happen to know what they might be or anything similar to these, please leave it in the comments below. That would really help me so much. And then for my eyebrows, I'm using this Annabelle brow pencil in medium brown, and I have to say this thing is amazing for the price. It's like $5 or $6 Canadian, and it does a really good job. Now this color might be a little bit too dark for me, so I go with a very light hand when I'm applying this brow shade, and any places where I feel like I've applied too much, it does come with a little brush on the lid so I can brush out my brows and kind of thin out the product. Alright, we can finally move on to foundation. Now the foundation that I'm using on my cheeks is the MAC Studio Sculpt in NC45. And whenever I'm applying foundation, I like to put it directly onto my fingers and swirl it onto my cheeks just to really get it into my pores, which helps them look a little bit smaller. And now the foundation that I'm using around my mouth and on my chin and everywhere else is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, and that is in the shade Toffee. Coffee? Coffee or Toffee? Hold on, I gotta check. So sorry, it is called Toffee, and that's a foundation that I wear on an everyday basis. I love that foundation. I just happen to have the MAC foundation lying around because I happened to buy it at a sale,
Otherwise, I genuinely do not purchase MAC products. It's just too expensive in my opinion. So once I'm done buffing in the foundation, I actually went back in with this Dermablend concealer in Deep. And this is one of the few high-end products, actually it's I think the only high-end product that I purchased at the drugstore. I just like that it matches my skin tone really well. So I'm just going back in and just putting it on any spots that I felt are still showing a little bit of darkness or discoloration. So I put it around my mouth, under my eyes again, and a couple of spots on my face. And then to contour, I'm using this L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick. It's actually a foundation and I'm using it in the color Chestnut. I had to get this because there was no other contour palette or anything like that at my local drugstore, which was dark enough to contour for someone with my skin tone. And suddenly I'm using setting powder. I have no idea what order I'm going in right now, but I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 35 Deep, and I'm just taking it with this beauty sponge and just kind of dabbing it into my skin. I don't really bake, I don't really know how to. As you can clearly tell, I don't know what I'm doing since I haven't even blended out my contour. And then I guess I'm finally going to actually blend out my contour. So I'm actually using the same brush that I use for my foundation because, I don't know, I guess that's the only brush I really like. But what I am making sure to do is that I pull my contour all the way from my cheek, all the way like pretty much to my mouth, just to really cut out those cheekbones. And I also just ended up cleaning up the edges just with some finishing powder. And then I'm just putting some mascara on my bottom lashes. I use this Maybelline Illegal Length Mascara, and I just put it on my bottom lashes because it has fibers that help them look a little bit longer. I did get some mascara onto my skin there, so I just went back in with some concealer just to cover that spot up. And then I realized I didn't put any inner corner highlight, so I went back to this burgundy palette and I took this color here and I just popped that in the inner corner of my eyes.
Okay guys, I changed because time got away from me and I'm running late. So I'm wearing my little outfit.
And to line my lips, I ended up using this NYX lip liner in the color Nutmeg. Once I was done with the liner, for lipstick I used this Maybelline lipstick in the color 275 Crazy for Coffee. Now the highlighter that I'm using, it's actually discontinued. There's actually a funny / embarrassing story behind it. Maybe I'll tell you guys sometime. But yeah, you can use any highlighter that you like. This one is very subtle, which is why I like it.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at a big mirror to see kind of how I look because it's hard to tell.
Okay, and this is the final look. Sorry, I was in such a rush to leave that I didn't get proper footage, and this was filmed on my phone, so it's bad quality. And I didn't do much to my hair. I just put a clip in it. It didn't look that great, to be honest, but whatever. And yeah, that's the gist of my outfit, and that's my outfit with the shawl. So yeah, that's it. I didn't film a proper outro either, so thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful mess, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!